Vacant land in your neighborhood could soon look very different. 20 city-owned lots are sitting empty across Sioux City, and tonight we're learning more about how residents have a rare window to shape what gets built there. It's called the Vacant to Vibrant Initiative, and it's meant to spur housing investment and neighborhood revitalization. If you take a look at your screen, you can see the outcome and the dots there. Do you recognize any of the neighborhoods with the pins? Well, there are 20 empty lots scattered across Sioux City, and the city wants to know what you think should go there. KTV's Taylor Deckard explored where some of those lots are and how community members can imagine some of them. Taylor?
Yes, Jessica, these parcels of land range from well below an acre to over an acre and a half. Prices range from $5,000 to $150,000 minimum, and nearly all require residential development. And this shouldn't have been news to neighbors within 260 feet. They received direct notices from the city, but I wanted to hear what they think about the future of these lots. Sean Olson lives near 502 West 3rd Street, one of the vacant parcels that sits empty right now.
Oh God, years. Too many years.
Imagine a pocket neighborhood of tiny homes. That's exactly what the city is hoping someone will build on one of the vacant lots, envisioning tiny cottages at $150,000 or less.
It's something that we'd like to try and see if there's a market for here in Sioux City.
That's great. It's about time.
Some of these lots had a former purpose, like a park at 801 Pacific Street.
So some of them we purchased maybe for like a utility or roadway project, and they didn't end up being needed. Some might have been purchased for a property or for a project that never came to fruition. Others we might have needed some of the lot for a project, and then that left kind of a remnant.
The city is now redirecting them towards more housing.
I think we're just looking forward to seeing everyone's ideas and see what the next steps will be for a lot of these lots that have just been sitting there for so long.
Here in the Morningside area, we're on Houlihan Run. Take a look at the land just over the road. That is the land that is up for a proposal. It's one of the largest ones at 1.08 acres. On 13th and Grandview sits several lots looking for a proposal at the starting price of $150,000 based on appraisal, but it has flexible development.
We'll see what we get back from area developers and builders if there is an interest to doing something like that.
It'll be a lengthy process for each project, but for the first time in years, these empty lots have a deadline and a future.
It's time to move on and get them back into benefiting the community.
As part of the initiative, all winning bidders and developers must break ground within 2 years of property transfer. And if you want to say in what gets built in your neighborhood, the city needs to hear from you by August 27th. But anyone can submit feedback, not just developers. Jessica?
And after the bids are submitted, city staff will review and make recommendations to city council for final approval. Learn more about each property and the initiative in this story right now on KTIV.com.